it's Claire. Welcome to season 3. Today I'm speaking with Vadim Feichtner. He's fab. We met at Broadway Dreams, doing some things together. We chat a little bit about his career and wine recommendations and so many other things. So hope you enjoy. And yeah, that's all I got. Hello, podcast. Today we're here with Vadim. How do you say your last name?
Feichtner.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's what I thought, because I feel like I've heard Matthew Scott say it, because he can't actually just say Vadim. He has to say your full name.
Sometimes he does a whole situation with it. Yeah, but yes.
Welcome to the podcast. What are you sipping on today?
I'm having a little red wine. I believe it's a Decoy.
I actually like a Decoy wine.
I like a Decoy, a little CabSuavs. Not bad. This is where I'm starting. Depending on where the world takes me. I got a little Lagavulin in reserve for hour 3 of the podcast.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
I was debating on whether I wanted to do a little pour of my Four Roses.
Okay.
But I actually opted for this beer that I picked up. It's called Sweet Baby Jesus.
Oh my God.
And it is a chocolate peanut butter porter.
I would not have picked that up, but how's that turning out for you?
I don't know. I haven't even tried it yet.
Can I watch your?
Yeah.
I want to watch your face.
We're gonna try it right now. Ugh. It's dark. Look at that.
It looks awful. Go for it.
Oh, it really is. That's wild.
Are you getting all the chocolate and peanut butter notes in your beer?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ooh.
It says a classic porter with heavenly aromas and flavors. Oh, there's a gnat. Hello. Go away. And roasted flavors of malt chocolate and rich peanut butter with a smooth, dry finish.
Absolutely.
One sip and you'll exclaim the name.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I didn't know this existed. And then my church, we're a really fun church. We had the thing called Hymns and Brews, where everyone brings their own beer or whatever alcohol they wanted, and we sang a bunch of hymns.
Oh my goodness.
Someone brought this, and I was like, interesting. I'm not going to try it, but it looks intriguing. But the only reason it caught my eye is because I'm a big Abbott Elementary fan.
Oh, yeah.
Big Shirley Ralph fan. And she has a line where she says, "Sweet baby Jesus and the grown one too." And that is the only reason why I have ever remembered that this beer exists.
That sounds fun. And that's a fun show. But man, that beer, that's not happening with me.
Are you not a stout? Are you a beer person?
I beer like crazy, but I don't know. I've been in my IPA place, and when I do it, I get on the train and I like want something that just packs the most alcohol into that one can, so that it just jumpstarts the experience. And so if it says like 9% or something, it's like,
have you tried those? What are they called? Buzz balls.
They're
like this big, and they're like 20-something%, but they're literally this big. They're kind of insane.
That can't be legal. That sounds disgusting.
I've never tried one. I think they have different flavors. I think I would be on the floor if I had those.
You're a tiny person. I am. You can't be having that.
Yeah, I do surprise people though with my tolerance.
Yes, that's the word.
But yeah, no, I am a CabSuavs person, which is why I know the Decoy. Have you tried oh my gosh, I always forget the name of it because I don't ever look for the name. I look for the label. It's got a big lion on it.
Big lion.
I should know the name, but truly I just walk in and I hope to see it on the shelf, like the label. I'll think of it at some point.
Yeah, I buy all my wines in Jersey where it's less expensive than the city for sure.
Well, there's a place like right two or three blocks up from me, and I always walk in hoping that they'll have it. And they don't. I guess they don't have a market for it.
Come on, lion wine.
I know.
And I like the sheep wine for the white wines. You know, the one that has the little sheeps on it? I don't know. We only call it sheep wine. It's very much like your lion wine. But it's probably like one of the New Zealand ones. They all taste like grapefruit. They're all the same, but they're, you're just drinking juice at that point, but it's delicious.
Right. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what you do. Can you tell like can you give your resume in like the fastest form?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a musical director, I'm a conductor, and I'm an arranger. I'm supposed to be a writer. I went to school to be a writer, but I don't totally do that as much as I should. But I like to use that to inform my musical directing and my arranging and stuff. I've done it for 20, what year is it? 20,
25.
2025. Yeah. So I've done it for like 25 years, something like that. A lot of stuff with Bill Finn, obviously, since I
Mhm.
went to school. Yeah, that's my resume.
There you go.
That's what I do.
You and I met at this thing called Broadway Dreams,
Yeah, we did.
which not everyone knows about, which I've
Hmm.
learned very recently. I'm like, I feel like everyone knows about Broadway Dreams in one way or another. And I just spoke to two people who were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like,
Well, there's
oh,
so many of
never mind.
them. There's
There
there's
are.
yeah, they're type things.
Um, but that's how we met. And I think I remember when was the Falsettos tour? When was that? That was 27.
2017.
Okay, so I came the year after that, I think was my first year in Charlotte.
Okay.
And I remember you did Human Heart with us.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I
yes.
remember being like, "Oh my gosh, that's the music director of Falsetto." Cuz I had just seen it and kind of sort of I traveled across the country to see the filmed version of it
Oh,
when they
cool,
put it
cool.
in theaters
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because my family and I were already going to San Francisco
Hmm.
for vacation. I bought tickets,
Oh
and it
yeah.
just so happened to be the day that we got in off of a 26-hour train ride.
Oh, oh, oh,
And I
oh.
was like, we're going to go and sit. We're going to go watch this musical. And I had at that point hoped that they would do like a little intermission or something, and I don't think they did. I think they just went straight into act 2. And
What?
yeah, they didn't do there was no pause in
That's not
between.
possible. I
I
think
don't
it's almost literally not possible.
I don't think there was any kind of like how Hamilton does like their 10-minute intermission thing like
Uh-huh.
in the film. They did not do that for the
Okay.
filmed version of Falsettos, which my parents were very much hoping for.
I'm sorry. That's a lot. That's a lot to sit through.
But well, I was totally willing. They were dragged.
Sure. And that first act is weird.
It is. I
It's
didn't tell
really
them
weird.
anything about it either.
Oh, okay.
So we had a fun time. And then I saw that tour as well for
What town did
this
you see it
thing.
in?
I think Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. Okay.
I think so.
Mm. We started in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which I thought was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And there's like a reason to do it, and I don't know what the reason was, like or like if their theater was the right size or whatever. But we basically did previews in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm like, why would we do this? Like, am I terrified to go to this
Right.
town? Is this going to be really weird? Are they going to hate us? And it was like the absolute opposite. This is where I like learned about how important theater is, because like if you lived within 100 miles of it, we were there for you. It was an
Right.
important place for
Mhm.
people to get to, and so people found their way to this place. That if you needed this show, you found your way to Fayetteville, Arkansas. And like the people were overwhelming. It was really crazy, and I've never experienced anything like it.
Did you find that a lot of like falsettos? I mean, I love that show. I
Mhm.
love, and I didn't
Love
know
it.
about it until, of course, you know, the Lincoln Center version,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
version that you did, and then I was like, oh, now I'm quite obsessed with it. Listen to it all the time, especially once
yeah.
that album came out. And did you find that people liked it like on that like throughout that tour for the most part because it's a long musical and it's a strange musical because it's two kind of
Yeah, I mean, there are two things written many years apart, and he actually became a much better writer in between the two acts. In
mhm,
between, for the people who don't know, I guess like the first act was written maybe 1979, and the second act was written maybe 1987. I'm fudging the years, and what was I started with? Oh, do people like this? The weirdest thing was when we went to San Francisco. I went to see it in San Francisco, and they were having problems with it. Like of all the places in the world, they were maybe the most sour audience, and I
interesting.
couldn't tell you why. the part of it, like the theater there is a little messy. And it's the stage is really far away from the audience, and there was like a perfect storm of they just weren't having it.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere else, people just kind of love it. Like, my parents loved it. Like it was like it's like once it starts running, because the second act is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
If you could accept the first act for the splatter painting Pollock that it is, and then you get to the second act, and it really it does all the things. There's not an ounce of fat on it, and it's just beautiful freight train of a show.
Mm-hmm. Freight train
um,
is exactly is what
yeah,
it is.
it will mow you down emotionally and physically. But yeah, but it's so many things couldn't have happened without it. I mean, this was like 1979, and he's writing about people who he's not writing about them being gay or about them fighting to be gay or any of that stuff. He's just writing about a family, and like the fact that there's two gay people at the center is an afterthought.
Right.
It's just literally just about family, 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 and every show that came after it couldn't have happened without it. Like you couldn't have Rent without Falsettos. You couldn't have
Right.
Modern Family, which happened 30 years after the fact. It took that long to be able to tell the same kind of story in that way. uh it took a lot of time for the world to catch up.
Yeah.
So he was pretty far ahead of the game with it.
I love that show. I want to see it. I want to see so many different versions of it, but this specific this version that you worked on is like
Yeah.
one of my favorites. I think it's because I love the staging of it and how you have a block, you got Stephanie J block. It's just
I
like
know.
it's there's a lot going on that I'm obsessed with
on the
all of
tour
this.
on the tour we named the block Stephanie J Block.
I love that.
So, I don't know
I
why
just
we didn't do it initially, but on the tour it was Stephanie J Block.
well, and I like when I first saw it, I don't think I even put together which I guess everyone has their own versions of what the block is and everything. But I was like,
Mm.
wow, how smart of you to create a whole entire set out of like these foam thing. I don't even know what they are. They seemed a lot heavier than foam, but they seem just like very condensed foam essentially.
I think it was our set designer, and he was making them for maybe outdoor playgrounds, indoor playgrounds. Like it was something he was like messing around with for another project. And I don't know. I think he showed him to Lapine's like, and Lapine's like, let's take a look at the blocks. Maybe we can do something with those. And then suddenly it became a whole thing. And I never thought it would work ever, ever. We would sit there during rehearsal, and I'd like lean over to say something like, one day we're gonna say to each other, remember when we used to have the blocks? But then the blocks stayed.
And they were there.
I know.
You know what? And I love them. I love the way that, they were able to create I love when people are actually able to take a minimalist set and create a world out of it because
Absolutely.
some shows try to do that and I say try because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it works the way they want it to. Other
Right.
people do. Sure. But really liked this with the movement and everything and then you never have like you only see the block once. Like you only see it
Mm-hmm.
as a full block once because, then he dies and
And now there's
you
like
got to take a piece out.
one nasty piece taken out of it, and it's so
Mhm.
very sad.
Yeah. So
Oh,
good.
so beautiful.
Is there I saw actually I was looking at your Broadway World profile.
Oh, that's got to be definitive.
I want to yeah, I want to know about wait, I was reading it. I was reading it. This Nat King Cole. Is that still happening? That's
We opened last night.
oh, okay. It says May 1st, so that makes sense. It's only the 20th.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was a thing, but tell me about that because I am a huge jazz nerd. So,
Okay, you should see it first of all. It's really good. We opened yesterday. It was written by Patricia McGregor and Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo,
mhm.
fancy. It stars Dulé Hill and Daniel J. Watts. It stars Dulé Hill as Nat King Cole and Daniel Watts as Sammy Davis Jr. And the whole thing is, or 90% of it is like a fever dream, basically.
Oh.
And it has to do with the last show of the Nat King Cole show on television. And he did all these things to kowtow to white sponsors and to white America or whatever. And the whole show is like kind of an imagining of, him wrestling with the idea of it, and like, what if I didn't? What if I use this last show to do it the way I want to do it? And it's just a reimagining in Nat's mind.
Mm.
But it's great singing, great acting. There's one of the best tap dances you'll ever see in your life. In your life, that stops the show dead every night. It's just a really cool show. It is 85 minutes.
It's an in and out.
It's a princess gig for me. Oh my god.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but it's really great. The audiences are so enthusiastic, and it's great. Yeah, come see the show.
I should keep my streak of jazz because I was just at Just in Time. I just saw
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was great. And then I was just at there's a beer garden in Brooklyn called Radgast Hall, and they apparently have a jazz band randomly
Cool.
that comes and performs once a month. So I got to see them.
You're in your
And
jazz place.
I am. I love it. I don't well, most of the time I seek it out, but that the other night I was like, "Oh, there's a bass coming. There's a bass literally entering the beer garden. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Sure.
as you get
Sure."
there. Have you had your New Orleans moment? You've done all that stuff?
Like, have I gone to New Orleans?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I would like to.
It's worth it. It's
I
a
think it'd
it's
be
a
fun.
little it's a little scurrier than it is normally. There's like there's something happening where they can't afford their law enforcement or whatever. So there's like it's a little tricky getting from place to place. You kind of have to take
Mm,
cars everywhere. You can't just walk safely.
mhm.
But you can get to these little lily pads of safety, and
Right.
it's really great. And the music is everywhere and
Yeah.
great, and the food is ridiculous. So yes,
Yeah. I
come
want to. I would
please
love
go.
that. I have I every now and then we'll go to the Jazz at Lincoln Center
Yeah,
space,
that's
and
the
I
best.
love that. Have you ever been to their what do they call it? It's like an open mic, but it's crazy because it's essentially just Juilliard kids who show up,
Right.
and someone gets up at the mic and is like, "All right, I'm gonna sing this in the key of G. Who wants to play piano?"
Oh, I
And
love
then
that.
someone gets and plays piano, and then all of a sudden, like they're halfway through a song, and someone's been pulling out their trumpet for the first 30 seconds, and all of a sudden there's a trumpet solo, and
That's real
someone
jazz.
volunteers for drums, and then they're like, "All
Yeah.
right, next song. Who wants to play piano next?"
Well, I seen those kids at Dizzy's. Dizzy's in there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they'll do like the Juilliard big band or whatever, and they're murderers. They're so
Oh
great.
yeah.
But the food is pretty great there. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good place to scratch that itch too.
They have an orange wine. I tried that once.
It's
It's good stuff.
people like that orange
Got a
wine
nice
nowadays.
view.
Is it the new rosé, the orange wine?
I guess so, but it's not actually made with oranges, is it?
Oranges? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's like I don't know quite why. I think it's just called orange wine because it kind of looks orange, I guess.
Yeah, rosé isn't made of roses.
Really,
It's,
that's
it's,
true.
it's just the color.
That's true. I remember trying it and I was like, "Wow, this is sweet," but I will drink it because it's like a $20 glass of wine.
Sure.
I don't see a lot of jazz. I want to go to the some of the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
I still have yet to
Vanguard.
yeah, I
Vanguard's
haven't gone
great
to
for
any
it.
of those Blue Note I haven't done.
Yeah, they're great.
Um
Treat
I
yourself.
yeah. Well, I wanted to go see do you know Stella Cole?
No.
She's my age. She's a newer artist.
Uh-huh.
Who's bringing jazz to the younger
To the
generations,
kids.
to the kiddos. But she had a 3 or 4 night set I
Oh,
somewhere downtown, and I tried to get tickets. They were all sold out.
come on, Stella Cole.
And Samara Joy has also done a lot out
Mm,
there. She's sold things out. I only ever get into her concerts if I buy a ticket really early or I beg
ugh.
her to let me photograph the show.
Okay. But you
uh
always have that in your back pocket. You could always do that stuff.
I do. Well, it's nice that I've photographed Stella's I photographed her at Lincoln Center when she did something over there, and that was not paid. I just didn't I snuck my camera in thinking you weren't allowed to take photos, which like
Mm,
I don't think you really are, but they also don't say you can't. And
okay.
then I saw a bunch of phones out and I was like, "You know what? I'm
Taking
going to
pictures.
whip out this thing." So I did. And then she hired me for her Christmas show, and that, and then I met her family, and her grandfather still sings. He's like in his 80s or something like that.
Is he a
He's,
famous person?
I think so. I'm
Is
sure
it
he
Nat King
is.
Cole?
No,
No.
that'd be cool if it was though. And apparently Joe Biden and not Joe Biden. Incorrect.
Not at all. Not
Wrong
no.
white guy. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were there with Chelsea. And
Mm.
so and that story is always funny to me because they kept saying Clinton, and I kept thinking people were saying McClendon because that is Samara's, like, that's her family's name is
Okay.
McClendon. And they kept being like, the McClendons are coming. And they kept saying the Clintons, but I kept thinking, and I was like, yeah, of course, because they're they're performing as a family, of course.
Uh,
So then we're walking, and Samara goes, "Oh, are you ready?" And I was like, "For what?"
come on.
And I turn around, and Hillary Clinton's just like standing there. She's like, "Hi, nice to meet you."
That's
And I was like, "Oh, I need my camera. Let me."
that's too much.
Was not ready for it at
I would just
all.
start crying.
It was crazy. There were so many, lots of Secret Service there.
For sure.
Oh,
Bill Clinton came to spelling bee when I did it a million years ago because it was like um Hillary's mom's birthday, something. Hillary wasn't there, but it was Bill, the mother, and Chelsea. And Bill said, I want to go back and see the kids. And so he like came backstage or whatever, and we were all just waiting for him. And our cast was really political and really interested in this. And they just start firing policy questions at him, like one after the other. And he's just taking it in. He's loving it. He stayed for like 90 minutes. We
oh
couldn't
my
get rid of
gosh.
him. And like eventually, like Chelsea walks by, Dad, can we? He's like, one more. And he was just like, he was so happy to be there. And I mean, the guy's magic, he's
Yeah.
just, he's where he is because he was just, he is one of a kind guy. And he's like sexy. You don't think about it, but like he walks in the room, it's
I
like, oh,
mean,
that dude's
oh
sexy.
yeah, absolutely.
And he's just sexy because he's smart and just the way he talks to people. You're the only person in the room. But he really just wants to glad hand all of his life. It's pretty cool.
I he was so nice, and I didn't really speak to them very much, but they did say hi to me, and they were like, "Thanks for taking." I think they were like, "Thanks for taking photos" or something. And
uh,
I really wanted to be like, "Chelsea, I loved you in Dairy Girls," um, but they were very nice, and he came in. They had like a short intermission
mhm.
midway through, and Bill came downstairs by himself
Oh,
to, I guess,
okay.
go to the restroom.
Sure.
He didn't have anyone with him, and one of the vocalists was like, "Are you leaving?" And he was like, "No, let's go to the bathroom." I was like, "Why would I leave? What are you talking about?" I was like, this is great. What a time." So okay, so you talked about spelling bee, which is, I feel like I actually don't know spelling bee. Like,
What?
I know.
Have you
Listen,
never been in spelling bee?
mm-mm.
You'd
I've never
kill
been
it.
in it. I've never auditioned for it. I've
Oh,
done
you'd eat.
I've I'd
That's
eat. I've done there was, so before I did Broadway Dreams,
uh-huh.
USC, like University of South Carolina, had this thing called Broadway at USC, and it was
Um,
essentially they were trying to do the same thing. I don't know where that ended up.
okay.
But one of our songs was the opening number,
Okay.
and they were like, "You're gonna play Marcy Park," and I was like, "Okay, sure." Don't know what is going on at all, but
Uh,
I'll do it. And I remember walking up and doing the Marcy Park. I was like, I had no idea what the show was,
uh-huh.
what we were doing. I still don't know. There's another song that I did from Spelling Bee for my so I went to Zoom school essentially because the pandemic
Okay.
hit. And so instead of us doing a bunch of like solo like things in our class that I think was technically supposed to be, you choose a lead role and you do a character study and all of that. We were like, we
Okay.
would actually really love to do ensemble work because the ensemble work that we did was over Zoom. And we did a song from Spelling Bee, and I do not remember what it
Was it
was.
pretty or was it raucous?
It's a little raucous. It was a little crazy.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was though.
It's a very good show.
Is that do you have like a favorite? You've done actually a lot of fun like shows. Are there any?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
Um,
that you've
I
worked
love
on?
all my children equally. I, lo- I mean, I love Spelling Bee just because it was my first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it ran for a long time, and I mean, I needed to do every minute. I was like so in debt from college and stuff. So, I mean, we ran 1,200 shows. I did like 1,200 shows.
Wow.
I played that at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the building of it. I mean, all those people are still my family. We still have a 20-year-old text chain.
I love that.
So whenever anyone sees like a picture of a capybara, they put it in the chain. We're like, ha, 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 capybara. Um, it was Yeah, it was just a really crazy time in our lives because we all built it together, like in the woods. And it reminds me of maybe happy ending in a weird way, in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that we did it not thinking anyone would ever see or care about this.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, we're going to make $0 from this. We were making $0 in the woods. And in my mind, it was just like a one off that, whatever. And,
Mm-hmm.
billions of performances later, it's just done in every country and every whatever.
Right.
And it's just kind of cool, but they're all just still my people. And that's the most important thing. Like, we do these things all the time. We have a bunch of Bill concerts coming up, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
be seeing each other again. It was a crazy time, heady time.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to it, you'd like it,
I will. I will. I've been people keep say people have given me 6 languages before,
right?
but they would give it to me like the day before the performance. And I'd be like,
Um,
"Give me another song. Anything else."
but you have to actually do like stunts. It only works like when
Yeah.
you do weird stuff.
There was another time someone gave me like Sondheim and I was like, "Are you crazy? You going to learn this in one day? I don't
Mm,
I don't know where you think I live, but it's not in Sondheim world." I mean, I love Sondheim, but
you don't do that.
I mean, I love Sondheim, but my brain is not
You have an
my
alphabet
brain
brain.
just doesn't connect very well to Sondheim.
Really?
It
Okay.
doesn't. I love listening to it, but if
Uh
you
huh.
ask me, I think at one point I tried to sing on the steps of the palace, thinking that I had heard it enough.
Ugh. The time signatures are
And I
violent.
was like, I don't think I'd ever heard it without someone singing it. So I just
Okay.
turned on a karaoke
Yeah, it
and I
doesn't
was
work.
like, yeah, this isn't what. So then I was like, okay, I'll do No Things Now. That sounds a little bit easier. And I was like, I don't even know what this bridge is. I don't know where we're
Hmm.
going with this.
Math, it's
Um,
chromatic.
it's yeah,
What's your wheelhouse? Like what are your go-tos?
anything pop rock, anything where I'm a belter.
Rock.
I
All
love a
right.
pop rock. I mean, I would actually really love to do Sondheim, specifically Into the Woods. I love that show.
Wow.
Um, I'm usually called in for Little Red because I look 12.
Sure.
Recently, I've been called in for Cinderella, which is nice.
Sure.
I don't think I sound very nice singing Cinderella stuff. I
I'll
mean, I
bet you.
can, but it's not like the soprano-y style is not
Right.
necessarily my strong suit.
Okay.
Um, but I love a belty. I love a pop rock. Six is. I mean, I don't. I'm kind of like falling back from six, but for a while I was like, I could totally be in six. I was seen for Dear Evan Hansen for many years.
Uh-huh.
Never did that. Like a lot of the contemporary pop rock, I'm seen for Hair a lot.
Okay.
I don't know Hair very well, but I can sure sing it
Okay.
from what I've learned. And some Rock of Ages, those kinds of I would love to do Runt. I really want to do Runt. I don't
Come
even
on.
care what role I do. I'll play the singular Asian girl that they always cast in the ensemble. Just let me be a part of it.
You could be any of those people. You could be any of those people.
Yeah. So I love those and then I guess like the more non-rock pop. I mean, I feel like Andrew Lippa is still very like poppy.
He's poppy,
Yeah.
but he's theater.
Yeah, theater pop.
But like
Yeah.
Wild Party, like you people still Wild Party? Do we do that?
Oh yeah, people still do Wild Party. That
All
was
right.
my there was a class in my senior year where we did have to choose a specific character to work on.
Oh, I thought
And
you meant you had to choose between the two Wild Parties.
oh no, that would
You
be
had
crazy
to
though.
choose a side and then be judged for that choice.
Yeah. But I did a character study on Queenie for Lippa's Wild Party.
Okay.
and I did that, and I really enjoyed that. And everyone's like, "You could play Queenie," and I'm like, "Well, I think she's actually legitimately supposed to be white, but I'd love to play Queenie." Kate, I would love to play Kate though.
That'd be good. I
She's
mean, those are both ripe for revival, so I can't imagine those not coming up. It's weird that the Lipa hasn't come back yet.
I think yeah, because who just did New York City Center just did Lacusa, didn't they?
They were supposed to, then they didn't.
Oh, okay.
It
I
was on
remember
this.
reading about it, but
Yeah, it was on the season, and then life happened, and I don't know what life things happened.
I will say, to set the record straight, I am a Lipa fan over Lacusa.
Okay, I saw Lacusa 3 times.
Okay.
I couldn't stop seeing it. Well, see, I was alive when these things happened. I don't feel you were, but I
He
saw
was
both.
99. I would have just been born.
Oh, you were born in the last millennium, though. All
I
right, good,
technically can say that, although I
good
was
for
born
you.
in November.
Oh, geez,
So,
really pushing it.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw them both, and they're both great. Like, but the Cuse is like, it was terrifying because you like these actual people could actually kill each other at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
And because then it was prime Patinkin time when you didn't know what he was going to do, and it was genuinely scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've
really
listened to the album and I've seen their Tony performance,
right.
but I still find myself
I get you.
heading back to Lipa.
Well, I get it. Those are
Do
great
you
songs.
Okay, so you play just a tad bit of piano. Do you have a favorite style?
Oh golly. When I'm home, I play classical. Just to keep, I have these little tiny paws, and so I have to keep them in shape.
I can't play an octave to save my life.
I mean, I make an octave, but I mean, I pretend I
I'm
can
like,
play a ninth, but I can't. So when I'm home, I do that. Um, I mean, I'm doing this Nat King Cole now. I never get to play this kind of stuff in shows, so I'm happy to have this outlet, this go round. Um, so I love that. But yeah, well, like when I have to choose, I will just soothe my rotted soul by playing classical music at home and just going through all the stuff and trying to practice the way that I didn't when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Now that I'm older and I know how to do it better, like I was always so scattered then, even though I'm scattered now, but I know how to practice in a focused way and just problem solve.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I do when I'm at home.
I was so bad at practicing piano.
It's
I
unnatural,
took piano for like I don't know, 6 years, 7 years.
right?
I
But you're like a child, and you're like, I want to go out and play football in the street. I want to go do all these
I was
things.
like,
Why
let
would
me
I want to
do
be?
literally anything
Yeah,
else. But I
no.
think I was also the one who asked my mother to like for me to have piano lessons. I
Uh,
just wanted to be able to play the piano because I would watch people play the piano and I'm like, yeah, that I want to do that. And then I realized you have to
you gotta work,
practice
yeah,
to do that.
which is not fun.
I didn't
And
do
that,
too well with that. I think I learned how to sight read because of that, though.
oh, okay.
Well, because I'd walk into to my lessons and I'd be like, "Yeah, I practiced."
Ugh. You can't learn to sight read. You have to just sight reading is a function of practicing.
I sight read
Um,
much better vocally than I do with the piano, but I can plunk things out. And I
That's
just
right.
recently got a little piano. I wish I'd gotten the full size, but I did not. Not I don't know where I would put it in my apartment
Right.
if I'd gotten.
I have the apartment grand. Have you seen those? The
Mhm.
Yamaha. It's 5 foot by 5 foot. But if you have you know space problems, that's a lot. But 5 foot by 5 foot is about as small as you can get and still
Yeah,
get whatever.
I kind
That's
of just I walked into B&H because they have keyboards because specifically they have like MIDI keyboards and things like that. But you can get a
yeah.
little, electric keyboard. And I found what is it, a 68 is what I got. Because they were out of their full size, and I was like, well,
Oh,
you know what, this will be fine. Like, what am I gonna do with those last two? What am I gonna do with those?
you'll
And then I
miss them.
realized that that was a mistake.
That is a mistake.
As I
That's
like try and play
a
some of the songs, I'm like, I don't have that, so I guess I have to play it an octave up, and now I'm confused. And yeah,
Once you do your Rent revival, then you'll buy your next electric piano
Right. Right.
with your earnings.
Oh, I think Rent would be so fun to play, to be on the stage. And do you prefer being in the pit or being like on stage playing?
Um,
Or does it just depend on
it,
I mean,
dep-
it
it
depends
dep-
on the show regardless, but
Yeah, I mean, I did a show last year where I was on the second floor. I was barely in the building. And there's a part of it that's good because I could wear whatever I want.
Mhm.
We put televisions everywhere. So we had our sports games everywhere
Oh, nice.
and Christmas lights. We could talk to each other the whole time. And
Yeah,
so it
no,
was
that's
actually just a
nice.
good hang and it wasn't like work. And so it was just like, okay, business time. We'd play our song for 3 minutes, go back, just talk, whatever. And so for that reason, I do like that. When you're on stage, I'm on stage for the Neck and Cole show.
Mhm.
And it's totally fine, but I have to dress up.
Right. You have to be like on you're like part of the show.
Yeah, I can't like doze off. I have to look engaged all the time. Every once in a while, they come and talk to me and stuff. So I can't take off.
They do that with Just in Time. They've given them lines.
They have lines. Andrew has lines.
Lines. Mhm.
Uh, uh,
It's not enough. That's what they
uh,
say.
I do want to see that
They
show.
do it 3 times and of course, uh Groff goes, rule of thirds.
That's
Cuz you
really
do it 3
smart.
times.
Very
It's a
meta.
it's a fun um it's a fun show. It's a
Right.
very I didn't know it was 2 acts. I for some reason thought it was only going to be 90 minutes, but it is a 2
Ah,
act. But it's only 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, but that includes the
that's
intermission. So like I
okay.
think the first act is like an hour 20 and it's like a 45-minute second act. It's a
Is it a
very
concert or do they do scenes?
kind of yes, it's like Jonathan comes out and they're playing Beyond the Sea sort of
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
background. And then he comes on and he goes, "Hi, I'm Jonathan and I'm going to be your host for this evening." And then like
Oh,
he does this whole thing where he introduces a show and he's like, "We're going to chat about this guy named Bobby Darin and if you are a fan of this that and the other or whatever, that's who I'm talking about." Because I guess a lot of people don't realize who Bobby Darin is.
yeah. I know it's like two
Um
songs. I know Beyond the Sea. I know Splish Splash.
right.
That's
Which is essentially the only 2 songs that everyone else knows as well.
right.
And so and then at some point maybe 15, 20 minutes in, he like takes off his jacket and then he reintroduces himself as Bobby. And
Okay.
now he is playing Bobby and you're watching his life essentially until he dies at the age of 37. Um his first wife, his first love played by Gracie Lawrence, his first wife, Sandra D, played by Erica Henningston.
Mm-hmm.
But Erica doesn't come out until act 2.
Oh,
Like those are the most princess tracks that I think I have ever
that's
seen
princess.
ever because Gracie is only in act 1.
I mean, Gracie's unbelievable. Erica's amazing.
Gracie's voice is absolutely
I
insane
love it.
in this show.
Um,
I mean it's so and the two of them do a little duet at the end and they sound fantastic.
I want to see it. I do. I love Jonathan. I want to, but yeah, I'm not seeing shows for a while now.
Right.
But
It's great. It's an intimate theater. It's
mm-hmm.
small. It's, they have like the cabaret. I think we're getting more into everyone wanting to do immersive cabaret seating.
I never want it. I never want it.
You know what? I was watching those people sitting down there and I was like, I do love Jonathan Groff.
Uh,
I don't want to sit across from him.
he's a
What
wet.
is he's a wet man. He
He gets.
sweats and he
I
spits
know.
and they wrote it into the show.
He's yes.
I was like, I
Um,
don't think I want. I'll see him from afar.
but
That's
he's
great.
beautiful. He's a beautiful, sweaty man.
Yeah.
It's good. I,
Um, when you're doing your music directing and stuff with performers, whether they are seasoned or newbies, what are the things that you are like? This is what you should know. This is how I want to work with these people.
well,
Like,
everyone's so different, you know. It's
mm-hmm,
it's so tricky. But I'll always just ask the first day who reads music, who doesn't matter. And then you really just kind of figure it out.
mm-hmm,
Um, um, when I started doing it, I was doing it with I directed children's theater. When I was going to college, I would like work at a summer camp, and then I worked with like middle school theater, and then I did a high school theater at night. So I just like worked basically 12 hours every day, whatever. And I'm not an actual musical director, but I'm just doing this.
Mhm.
And then I started working at adult community theater. And when I was with the adult community theater, I just treated them the exact same way I treated the middle school kids. Um, and then I moved here and I started doing shows, and I only knew how to do it one way, and it just turned out as the same. Like, it's just people are people initially, or
Mhm.
you're just trying to get people to do a trick, and use my skills to teach them how to learn stuff, basically.
Mhm.
And some people need you and some people don't. um I work with kids a lot. Kids are, sometimes there's show business kids who are just like murderers, and then there's some show business kids who are useless, and you have to
Right.
figure out how to do it. One of my, oh, side note, like one of my show business kids is like huge star now. Do you watch The Last of Us?
No, but I
Oh my
should.
God, no, there's this girl, Isabella. She's like the breakout star on Last of Us.
Mhm.
And she was like girl number 3 in Little Miss Sunshine when we did it, when we did
Oh,
just like a
nice.
reading of it. And I'm watching, I'm like, I know this kid. And we did so many iterations of Little Miss Sunshine again and again. And we always just had like this crew of little girls that I would never see again. Because we would just trade them out, or they get older,
Mhm.
or whatever. Yeah, but then I saw that it's Isabella on television. She's like a mega star. And I just remember basically because she's from Cleveland.
Mhm.
And I remember her saying she's from, I met her mom or whatever. And I'm from Cleveland. And so when there's a Cleveland person, I always remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I have a
And
program from Little Miss Sunshine.
you saw it second stage,
No, like I think no.
or you just
Uh
have a program?
I just have a program because in high school I was that kid who was like, I love
Mm,
Stephanie J. Block, I love Jen Colella, I love
yes.
XYZ, and I'm going to get a program, a
Yeah.
playbill from every single one of their things.
Yes. Yes. Stephanie.
eBay was my friend in high school.
Uh, Stephanie sang the best song in the world in that show. I mean, we did it at Broadway Dreams one of those years. Something better happened. Were you there that year?
If
Yeah, we did it with. I don't know what city. All the cities are a blur. There was one year where we're like, let's do the Joe Icona song, Broadway Here I Come. And I'm like, I feel that song's about suicide. And they're like, well, we won't do the suicide parts. I'm like, I feel all of it's about suicide. I might be wrong, but I feel it is.
is that the high above the city? Is that what that one?
Yeah.
I think I was there for that.
Were you?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
remember a lot of Broadway dreams, to be completely
I
honest. I was an intern, so I was running around a
uh
lot.
it was your alcoholic years?
No, I just
No.
was running around like a crazy person, getting people's coffee orders and in
Oh, you weren't
Charlotte.
you weren't you weren't a functioning student at that point?
Oh
You were
no, I was. I was an intern. And as an intern, like you don't have to pay tuition because you're an intern, but you're also a student. So if you're not like
um,
working doing intern duties, you
yeah.
are to be in a class. And I think one year I was like also I was taking a class online to try and get it off of my college, something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so I was going back and forth between like, do I want to take this class or do I want to try and get through this quiz? Um, but a lot of my time was driving in Charlotte, North Carolina traffic to the closest Starbucks.
Okay. And that wasn't pandemic year, right? Because there was one of those years where it was
No,
pandemic and it was all masks, and like kids will come up to me now. It's like, hey, I met you in Philly or
you had no
whatever,
idea
and I'm
there.
like, I didn't know what you look like ever.
No, my last year was 21 probably when everything was on Zoom.
Oh, it
19
was
or
it was a
20.
full Zoom
It
one.
was like a full Zoom, and we didn't really do. You guys, I don't think there was really classes. If there were, I wasn't on them. I was
Okay.
on like I was like moderating because it was when you didn't always have a password for Zoom, so
Okay.
anyone could get on
Okay.
if
Anyone
a
in the
Zoom
world?
was live, and
Hillary
especially if
Clinton.
yeah, anyone could get on. And I think Broadway Dreams would like post on social media the like Zoom code and whatever.
Okay.
So then a bunch of us who were like vets of it, who were on the Zoom, had to go through the 5 or 6 pages of people and make sure no one who
No
wasn't. Yeah,
stragglers.
there were people who weren't supposed to be there on there.
Did
But
you
my
sing
first
songs?
no, it was mostly just like I think Lin Manuel Miranda popped on at one point. Like it was just like people talking. It was like
Okay.
Q&As and like things like that. I don't think there were really classes. There might have been dance classes, but those are easier to do over Zoom than anything else, I think,
Got it.
especially at that point. Were you there for the Bat Boy
No,
Beautiful thing?
absolutely not.
I remember being like, I don't even know what this song is, and then my school did Bat Boy, and I was like, this song is from Bat Boy,
You would
the
love Bat Boy. Now,
the
would you not
nature
love
one.
Bat Boy?
I mean, I did like Bat Boy.
Uh,
I saw a bootleg of the my college because by the time they did it, I had graduated because we had just done the musical right before that was Head Over Heels, which is what
oh,
I did.
okay.
Was the only musical I did. I played Pamela.
Who is Pamela? Which one?
Bonnie Milligan
Okay,
played Pamela.
that's a great role.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, but the Go Go's didn't have enough songs.
No, they didn't.
I'm just saying they had two good songs, and then they had to start taking like Belinda Carlisle solos and
It's just turn the into something else. Yeah.
uh-huh. I did like the show, but yeah, it just seems you need like Springsteen. You need like someone who's got like all these songs.
I never saw it, and I remember being here in the city. Like I think I was visiting or something, and I had a choice. Well, I gave myself a choice. I was like, should I see Head Over Heels or should I see something else? And I honestly don't remember what I ended up choosing. But
Mm-mm.
I had heard so many people not like Head Over Heels that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get a ticket because everyone was like, it's terrible. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I got like another. I don't even know what I ended up getting a ticket for, but I never got to see Head Over Heels.
The actors were so great. Bonnie was so great.
Hmm.
They did the shit out of that show.
I enjoyed it. I actually one of the first interviews, one of the like in the first few months of this like podcast, which at the time was like a video interview thing.
Okay.
I interviewed Bonnie, and I at one point like looked back on my interviews, which are the most embarrassing things, but they're still up on the internet
Why is it embarrassing?
because it's me going like, "What is your favorite musical?" Cool, awesome. Where did you go to school? Like it was just not. They're not good.
Now you're here
But
just chugging peanut butter
yeah, I
beers and
know.
effortlessly.
But she mentioned she was like in readings or workshops for the new musical that uses music of the Go-Go's.
Yeah, yeah. Head Over Heels was like 3.5 hours when it was in Oregon. It was
Oh
like
my
this whole
gosh.
Elizabethan situation, and then they eventually did whatever they did to it.
Well, I'm
But
glad they
yeah,
cut it down.
it
That's
was a beast back in the day.
okay. So my last question that I ask every person on the podcast,
Uh-oh.
since it is called "I'll drink to that."
All
Actually, there's two questions.
right.
Um, do because it is Sondheim based. Do you have a favorite Sondheim show slash favorite lyric?
Uh, I read about the joys the world dispenses to the fortunate and listen for the echoes.
Okay,
There you go.
there you go.
Um, I think Merrily, maybe I've done Merrily 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
which used to be weirder to people because now everyone's like, oh my God, I've always loved Merrily. It's like bullshit. No one ever liked Merrily. Fuck all of you. You never liked it. Like I did it in college, like 90. When were you born? 99? I think I did in
Mhm.
no, I did in 96 probably. Uh and I played like the David Loud part, or whoever's on stage. He has like 2 words, I think he says. And Teddy too. Um, I was that guy. And like all my friends would come see it. And I'm like, oh God, this is so special. The show is so special. And all my friends are like, yeah, it's great. Like everyone hated it. Hated it, hated
Oh.
it.
Well, now
Uh,
everyone loves it because of
Now
this,
everyone
especially
loves
because
it.
this revival.
I know. And then when I moved to New York, I got a stray call from Lonnie Price, who didn't know me from anything. And they were doing the reunion. It was like probably a 20-year reunion or something of Merrily. And he's like, listen, me and Frank, we gotta practice a little bit, or the three leads wanted to practice and just needed a piano player. I'm like, my God, it's my favorite show. I'm absolutely gonna come. And so I got in a room with the original two leads, and then the lady playing Mary was late or something, and they're like, "Can you play Mary?" I'm like, "Yes." Let's start with
I've been
opening.
waiting for this moment forever.
Oh my God. And I was like singing these songs with these two guys. And like, this is the greatest moment of my life. And then they gave me a ticket and then I got to see it.
There
So
you go.
long answer. I love Merrily. I mean, I love them all, but not all. Some of them are bad. Um, but Merrily tugs at my heart for whatever reason.
I did see this revival and I did enjoy it. I thought it
I couldn't
was.
afford it.
I think I got a TDF. I got like a
You did
cheapo.
not get TD. Oh, did you go on like a non-Daniel night?
Yeah, Daniel was not in.
That was it. TDF had
Hmm.
like those non-Daniel nights.
That's what they're doing with the cabaret. They have all the Wednesday matinees you could ever want, but even Obazada is not in on Wednesday matinees.
Oh, well, good on her.
Yeah, I know.
I like that cabaret.
No, I enjoyed it. That was my first time ever seeing Jonathan Groff. Nope, that's a lie. I saw him in Hamilton. I was about to say. I always forget that I saw Hamilton. Okay, and then my last question is, if you and I were going out, we're out at a bar, and I said I'll get the drinks, I'll get this round, and I walk up to the bar and I know exactly what you want. What is the drink that is your go-to? You all always love.
Lagavulin 16.
What is that?
It's a scotch.
Oh, okay.
16-year scotch. It tastes like a log cabin burned to the ground to make
Oh,
it.
fab.
Real smoky, real delicious.
I don't think I've had scotch.
Oh, you should try it. It's the one like Nick Offerman has one named after him. Did you ever watch
Oh,
Parks and Rec? Not your thing?
yes. I watched Parks and Rec way, way after the fact
Okay.
because
So did I.
I started Parks and Rec and I was like, I don't like this. I tried it multiple times, multiple
That's
times. And
because the
my
first three
friends,
episodes are bad. That's the problem.
well, I would get through season one and I was like, I don't think I really like it. So my friend would go, you just have to get past season one.
True.
So I started season two. I was like, I don't know if I still don't think I like it that much. And she was like, you got to get through season two. You got to get into the characters. And I'm like, if I have to get through 4 seasons to like a show, I think it's not for me.
Mm,
And then I ended up rewatching a bunch of episodes because I did an interview with Catherine Hahn a few
yes.
years ago. And I was like, well,
Also
of course I have
completed.
to go through her IMDb.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of funny because I was watching them out of order at that point. But I
Uh-huh.
knew the characters enough because of the previous watch.
Yeah.
And so then I finally did a whole watch through and I
And you
enjoyed it.
liked it.
I really liked it. Well, and I already liked Nick Offerman because I love Megan Mullally from Will and
Mm,
Grace. Is I like binge watched Will and Grace and I loved that show. And that's where they met was Will and Grace. And so
I know.
I remember watching that and I saw both of them live in Chicago because Megan has this like weird band that like
Yep, yep,
no
yep.
longer exists anymore, but he was
Mhm.
like the MC for the
Yeah.
night.
No, he does that.
Yeah.
Well, Megan's in the show I'm doing next year.
Okay.
And we did a reading of it last year, and like Nick's like, well, I'll be in it. And so like suddenly I have both, but he'll like if she's doing a cabaret or whatever, he'll come do some stand up or whatever. He'll
Yeah.
just
Oh my
like
gosh, they're adorable. I kind of
they're
love
the
them.
best. He's huge now because he's playing a wrestler in a movie. So
Oh.
he's jacked. It's like a whole
Does
situation.
he still have like the whole like beard situation?
Yeah, he looks like Nick Offerman. But they're
It's always so strange to me because like I feel like we've seen him fully shaved, fully short hair, and we've seen him like
mhm,
full mountain man.
yeah.
Have you heard well he's in oh what is that cartoon called? Great North. He voices a character in
Oh, I don't know. I
cartoon
don't.
called The Great North that's the same creators of like Bob's Burgers and The
Oh, cool.
Simpsons. And he voices like a dad. And I'm
Didn't.
like, this is a perfect role for you.
He's
It's great.
he's the best thing in the world. And Megan was just in the last season of Gemstones. If you watch that,
Oh,
and
I know
she's
it.
amazing in that.
I really enjoy her work. I love her. Want to see her like in a in a theater show at some
So then
point.
you'll come to our show
I will.
called Ice Boy. We're doing it at the Goodman in Chicago.
I love the Goodman.
I know. Road trip. Then hopefully come in. I don't know. We'll see.
Luckily, I still have friends who live in Chicago. I crash on their couch.
That's right.
So
That's right.
no, I saw the. I've seen. The only time I ever was at the Goodman was because I saw a show called Life After.
Oh yeah. That's supposed to be beautiful.
But the show itself was gorgeous. I know they just did it.
Yeah,
Some on the
Shalina
West
did
Coast.
it.
Yeah, she just did it
Yeah,
on the West Coast. I hope it gets. I kind of want an album. I think the music is really pretty.
I want to hear it. I'm really excited about it. I like all
It's
those people.
yeah, it's very poetic what it is. But yeah, I saw that and I saw what's the play that Sean Hayes did?
Good night,
Good Night,
Oscar.
Oscar. Mm-hmm. Saw that and really enjoyed that they had to change the setting, change the piano so that people believed that he was playing the entirety of Rhapsody in Blue by himself.
It's not easy, people. He did like the solo version, like there wasn't an orchestra.
No, it was just him. Yeah, his big white grand piano, gorgeous grand
Mm.
piano, and they turned it just so that everyone in the audience could see that it
You
was
could
him.
just know that it was happening. No, you
playing.
got to do it.
It's great. He's fantastic in that role.
He's awesome.
I'm excited that it's going over to the across the pond.
Amazing,
It's great. Well, thanks for chatting with me.
buddy, for sure.
Do you have anything else that you want to advertise for the people to come see? Nat King
Advertiser.
Cole.
Yeah, you can come see Nat King Cole until the end of June. We're doing Bull Durham, the musicale, at the Paper Mill in the fall. It's really good.
Is that a reading or is that like a
It's a
they're
show.
staging? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for real. It's really good. Carmen Cusack,
I love
Nick
Carmen.
Walker.
Carmen was my first Elphaba
Oh, come
on
on.
tour.
He's a murderer. See that? And then Ice Boy at the Goodman next year with Megan. So those are good things to come see.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for chatting with me.
Oh my God, thanks for having me here.